some time ago that I sat in a special place and I put my thoughts to paper. And I was sitting in front of the Kaimanawa Wall in the Kaimanawa Forest at Te Taupo, a place where I had been sitting since sunrise, to taking films and photographs around the area in the early morning light. Birds abounded on this morning. The tui was calling, now close, now distant. And the bird song places a thin mantle of sound around the stones of the wall. And the trees that stand tall and powerful in their role as guardians and watchers. Then from a distance, was that the call of kakoko? My senses are stretched to take this all in. There is magic on the air, and the finest of breezes moves in gently and washes the air with the softest of touches, applying a layer of distant voices and laughter. This is a time of heightened energy and awareness, bringing moments of a deeper contact. The sound of voice was clear, but I had the forest to myself on this morning. Who may this be? Was it the briefest of touches from the ancient guardians, or perhaps the Patapaerehi, the fairy folk? I'd filmed for perhaps an hour on this morning, capturing the essence of this wondrous place, touching the stone and walking upon the top ridge among the mighty beech trees. I was moved to return here at this time because of an amazing story from a visiting Canadian doctor, an MD and a practitioner of energy medicine. He had taken the road to the wall earlier this year, and he felt there was more to the wall than just stacked stones that is clear for all of us to see. He made his way up to the top of the incline behind the site to discover that the clearest energetic power that he had ever felt had drawn him to stand among the trees at a certain point. There, he was overwhelmed by the realization that this was the most powerful of healing energies that he had ever experienced anywhere in the world. Now, this much traveled and revered man explained to me that it was quite possible that given certain conditions, personal healings could take place here. I was overwhelmed to hear these comments, as this provided the partial answer as to why certain energetic places are of great value to the well-being of people. So this one site atop the Kaimanawa Wall is worthy of more consideration in the light of a constant stream of healing energy being recognized. And when one visits other places of healing anywhere in the world, it is important that the correct approach is made, and that the desire to effect a healing upon oneself or another, a loved one, should be approached in the most gentle of ways, with a full verbal or inner acknowledgement of the site and all of the beings that may be present. Every leaf, every insect, every tree, every plant is a place in the natural order that surrounds such spots. Walk lightly, and within your prayer bring forth the reason for the visit. Do not command, do not dictate, but rather open your heart and clear your mind. Sit a while when you feel you have presented your cause in an adequate manner. A healing cannot be likened to a clap of thunder, but rather to the soft touch of an increasing awareness that an essential contact has been made. Deep within the person, a tiny touch of recognition and understanding will commence at a very cellular level to trigger the natural healing response. The body is far from happy with the imposition of disease. We all naturally seek the balance of well-being. The impact of healing places is often so subtle as to not be apparent until you have returned home. So on this particular day I'm talking about, I have come to this place to seek an answer, to explore the potential of this exciting prospect. My immediate response was to puff and pant a little as I climbed up and behind the wall. I set up my camera and my tripod and peered into the viewfinder. This restricted field of vision allowed me to focus on the strengths that were displayed by the trees, large and small. And as I panned the camera, so many things came into sight. I cannot say exactly how I was affected, but ever since I've had the most amazing energy bursts. I later found myself in the company of a special group that was holding a gathering at Tauhara Centre in Taupo. With openness and candour, many of these folk shared wondrous stories of awareness and the work that they were quietly doing to strengthen the well-being of all who live in New Zealand. And these people are now called the Finders, the ones who seek not for personal gain, but in an unselfish endeavour to link all that is good and great in this land with all who need, and with a deeper understanding of purpose. But a few of this gigantic network of individuals and other groups are constantly working to benefit their fellow human beings. From those who have worked long and hard to clear the trapped spirits that were cluttering the New Zealand landscape. The many metaphysicians who work at high levels exploring the reasons behind the rising of chaos in certain places. Delving deeper into the inner workings of the planet, rising above the earth to connect with the cosmic giants. I sat with guardians, always alert to subvert the evil intent of the powers that wish to control and rule. The earth healers who move amongst us in great numbers provide reassurance to the Davic world that we will not entirely wreck the system. Healers of the mind and body who intervene unasked to help those suffering to overcome. I talked with those who are in contact with entities and beings that do not connect in this dimension. And the list goes on as the Finders work and seek to be of help and offer sustenance to the spiritually weak and the morally bereft. And the most wonderful thing about the Finders is that this is a true service, given not to feed the ego or the pocket. And for those who ask, much will be forthcoming. And with all of this amazing information, one may well ask, where to from here? The Finders know the answer. It simply comes from the doing, the commitment. There are many of us who are not aware of our full potential. It is not always required that we be as active in our endeavours. We have but to offer support to those Finders we know, and to those unseen, our heartfelt thanks for the work they have undertaken on our behalf. Finders do not always work with instruction groups, but often alone or in pairs. But for all of this, they are always in touch with other folk who are involved within the scope of their talents. And within this network, this vast network of people, there is overlap of intent and much supportive understanding of the essential nature of the individual commitment. You'll often meet the Finder at gatherings of the like-minded, at shows and fairs or in private homes, and many of these people present services to others in the form of readings and healings. Many appear as everyday folk like you and I. There is always opportunity to link with the Finders and offer your support. So what I now see is a scattering of tens of hundreds of talented people through every level within our society. And the combined strength of all these workers cannot help but make the difference that is required to swing the balance back towards a time of greater joy and unity, love and understanding. And one might say that, given worldly trends of today, this utopian desire can never be fulfilled. But I take great heart from the deeper history of this land, when the nation of the Waitaha maintained a state of peace and unity for more than 1,000 years. History does repeat itself, and the direction this may take is very much in our hands. So open yourself to the potential that is presented in this land. Take it upon yourself to become involved, to make that pilgrimage to a place of power, to seek a healing for all within our community. I thank you very much for listening as I share with you. So much love to you all, and I so love you all out there so much that this is why I wish to share these things. Some things I've written about a long time ago, and some things as they come to me now. But there's nothing new under the sun. It's all been said before. We can just put it in different phrases and different environments and for different people. So, with love to you all out there, until we chat again, farewell from Gary Cook, and we'll see you soon.